Yacht Club's in the house. It's the LA Clippers podcast.
What's good, Clipper Nation? Victor Spoils in the house, man. It's a wonderful evening, afternoon, or morning, depending on where you are in the world, because that's right. We got James Harden. The rumors are true. We got James Harden. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Clippers' outstanding 40-point victory over Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. And we're also going to look ahead. We're going to talk about some other things going on in the NBA, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it, y'all. Peace to the fam. What's up, y'all? What's up, Clipper Nation? This is your boy, Victor Spoils on the LA Drippers podcast. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate y'all. Guys, let's get right into it. We got him. The beard is coming home to Los Angeles. I mean, we all knew it was going to happen because Harden wants, Harden gets. When was the last time he was ever denied anything? You know, he's like the Richie Rich of the league, you know what I'm saying? Or Silver Spoons, Ricky Schroeder of the league or something like that. Because this guy just can't be denied. There's no stopping him. He can get whatever he wants. I feel like he's the golden goose or something like that. Now, I know Clipper Nation is divided on this. I know a lot of people are saying, I don't want him. You know, he's a culture killer, different things like that. But look, do you really think anybody can come into Clipper Nation, that can come into our building and really rattle us and change the culture all that much? A lot of people were saying things about Russ that were very inflammatory as far as what type of an individual this guy actually was. Okay? And that doesn't seem to be the case for us as long as he's been in a Clipper jersey. I can't speak to the other teams and what happens to be going on behind closed doors with them. But we are getting Russ just being Russ, and it's working out for us. Twice already in this young season, Russell Westbrook has posted a plus 30 in the plus minus. So you can't say he's not contributing to what we're doing on both ends of the floor. He's obviously helping us out. He's obviously making an impact. So we can maybe take a look at our own culture and say that, yeah, we have the type of culture here that can turn people around. I really don't think that he's going to come in here and those antics are going to fly with the likes of a Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard will set him straight. And so we got to believe in our own leadership. We got to believe that James Harden is here because of the fact that he's looking for structure. He's looking for a different type of organization that seems to have a little bit more of a pulse on things from top to bottom. I commend Lawrence Frank for getting this done. But, guys, we got to talk about it. So, basically, in the deal, this is what we're looking at. 76ers sent us Harden. We're also going to get PJ Tucker, who I like. Good defender. We're going to get Petrusev. Okay? They're all coming to the Clippers. Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum, KJ Martin are all being sent over to Philadelphia. In addition to a couple of picks, I believe it's a 2018 unprotected first-round pick and 2 second-round picks. There's also a 2019 pick swap and an additional first-round pick that'll be routed through a third team. So, in the end, spoiled Maury gets what he wants, which was the 2 first-round picks for Harden. Is he worth it? I don't know. I believe that he must be because it happened. And I believe we got a championship coming. It's not a done deal. We still got to go out there and play the games. We're going to have to mesh. Harden's got to get in shape. But he's done this before. How many times? I can tell you this, is that this first season with him here, this is our best chance. While it's nice and fresh and new and a shiny new thing to him, he doesn't want to put it down. Let's take advantage of that. Let's show him what it is that we're doing over here in Los Angeles. There's a reason why he wanted to be here. There's a reason why he was just completely, inconsolable about leaving the 76ers. And the only recourse that could be had for him was to come to the Los Angeles Clippers. Has to be something to that. It's not just about Kawhi. Can't be just about PG and Russ. It can't be just about those things. It has to be about the organization from top to bottom, especially when we know that James Harden was upset with the with the 76ers brass. He was on record, and I quote, "Daryl Morey is a liar." His words. That's not a functioning relationship right there. He felt like he'd been lied to. He felt that he didn't have the support that he was looking for from the organization. And he feels like he can get that in Los Angeles. Plus, he's coming home. So let's keep an open mind, guys. Let's keep an open mind to everything that's going on, because this could be a really great situation. The players endorse it. Paul George was on his podcast, Podcast P. He's talking about it. When he's asked in the media, he's saying, I would love to have Harden here, just like he was on record as talking about Russ and loving to have Russell Westbrook. These guys all know what they can do together. And if you don't think that Harden is just this magician of a businessman when it comes to escaping situations that he creates. But look, we didn't give up a whole lot to get him. I do want to speak on that. I feel like Robert Covington is owed an apology. We didn't play him last year. We finally put him in the starting lineup. He's making a difference. He was a huge difference maker. His wingspan and his ability to cover space and get into the passing lanes, that is something that we will miss. His defense, and also just his how do I want to put it? His patience with us. A guy like that doesn't deserve to sit on the bench with DMPs after DMP after DMP. Especially when you have Kawhi and Paul George. They're not even in it. Or they're in and out of it. There was definitely opportunity and space for Rocco to see more playing time last season. And for whatever reason, that didn't happen. And I'm sorry, Clipper Nation, I don't have the answers to that. I don't know what it was that led to Rocco not playing as much as he could have wanted to, or maybe should have. But all I know is that he's going to get some playing time where he's going. And I wish him the best. I wish him well. And, I apologize, man. You deserve better. We don't always get the exit right. And if you don't believe me, ask Blake Griffin. Over the years, being a Clipper fan means it hurts a little bit extra when you have to say goodbye to some of your favorite players, because we haven't won a championship yet. So the relationship that you develop with these players becomes a lot more important to you. I know it does to me, because we're not some championship factory that's just cranking out rings left and right. So what do we get attached to? We're not Title Town. We get attached to the people. We get attached to the fans, to the people in the back. We get attached to the youth and seeing them come up and prosper and seeing them have a good time. Some of the greatest times that I've ever had at halftime are watching the youth basketball kids just go at it and get an opportunity to play on an NBA court. Are you kidding me? How many of you out there would have, what would you have given for the opportunity to step on any NBA court and play a little youth basketball at the halftime of an NBA game. Stuff dreams are made of, man. And how many kids are doing that today? 15 years later, you find that they're making their way to the league or some league. It means a lot. It means a lot. And that's what I love about these clips, man. We have a very family-oriented atmosphere, and it's a lot of fun. So, guys, if you're listening to this podcast, you've never been to a Clipper game, make that, time and space in order to go check one out. I would suggest, maybe using some of the apps like StubHub or SeatGeek or something like that. See if you can get a discounted ticket, because it is a fun time. I can't speak for other teams, but I've been to other games where, if you're sitting in the 300 section, which I love to sit in because you can see the whole floor and I can really study the game without having to do the rubberneck thing, the tennis back and forth. I don't like that. I want to be able to see the whole game like it was 2K, and I got that view, right? I want that. I need that. Okay? So I'm sitting up there, and nobody knows I'm up there because at this particular game, for this particular team, they like to cut out all the lights of anybody that's not sitting in the first 5 rows. And when you go there, they make you feel just as unimportant. And so I don't go with that team. I stick with my Clippers because they treat me like they want me in the building. And that goes a long way with me because, y'all, we're going to get into it at a later time, but I go through a lot to get my money. I go through a lot, okay? There's a whole story as to how I got on this microphone to be able to talk to you right now. And we're going to talk about that. But today is James Harden Day. So what are we thinking about what we can expect from Harden? Hopefully not 22 seconds of dribbling. And I really don't think that Ty Lue is going to let that happen. Listen, guys, you got to understand. We got Ty Lue on this team, okay? We got Russell Westbrook, who's already our primary ball handler, which means that you have the responsibility, not pressure, but responsibility of Russ needing to hit spot-up corner threes. That's gone. Harden can do that. You're talking about Harden basically being able to get open threes whenever he wants. And then he can drive the lane, and it's a foul if you look at him wrong. Now, if you've been a Clipper fan as long as I've been a Clipper fan, you know that sometimes those calls, man, just don't go our way that really should. And we have been on the receiving end of some really wild stuff as far as the officiating in this league is concerned. On that note, real quick, I do want to say my hat's off to the Clippers and the way that they've been handling all of that. I'm not seeing a lot of complaining. I'm not seeing a lot of harping on it. Getting back on defense, not giving up points in transition because we need to talk to the ref about some bad call that was 3 possessions ago. Can't do that. That's not championship DNA. What is championship DNA is getting on with the business of winning the game by any means necessary, no matter the cost. And I see this Clippers team is not going to let the refs take a game away from them. They're going to go out and make it decisive. Having said that, I'm interested to see how they're going to call James Harden in a Clippers uniform. Is that going to work to our advantage? Could. We're going to have to wait and see, I guess. But one thing's for sure, there's going to be some fireworks, baby. And it's going to be in a very exciting brand of basketball. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is Nico Batum. Y'all, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm sad. I'm torn up about it. Nico was such an inspirational player. I was so happy for him to be able to wipe that, stigma from his game and that label from his game and get that nasty Charlotte, North Carolina taste out of his mouth. And for him to reinvent himself and become a defensive juggernaut for this team. Batumbo. Blacktoom. Never saw that coming. Quick release. And the way he played Wemby when the Spurs came to town, it was nothing short of thorough. It was brilliant. It was brilliant to watch a guy who's 6'8", go out there and defend a 7'4" freak like it was just a thing to do. Now, obviously, they're familiar with each other, being countrymen and also being teammates on the national team. And I mean, he's known him forever. I think he said he'd known him since he was 14 or something like that. I could have that wrong. It could be a lot earlier. Doesn't matter. He's known him a long time. And he was able to use a little bit of that in order to help us neutralize him. All of his kindness and generosity to the fans, he's going to be missed. I'm going to miss him. And again, seeing that this was going to be his last season, he wanted to retire a Clipper. He took less money in order to be able to make that happen. For us to ship him off in the deal, it seems kind of weird. Who would want a guy in the last year of the contract? I don't know if it's just about the money and the contracts. I mean, the guy's going to retire. It seems like that's the kind of move, the trade I would pull on 2K and give you my retired guy after I had him for 12 seasons and stuff like that. But his rating is still in the high 90s, so I know I can get something for him. This ain't 2K, yo. This is real life, man. And I think we need to learn a lesson in loyalty. And I'll be honest with you, fam. I'm worried that lesson is going to come at a high price. I'm not going to get into what that means because I wouldn't dare speak on anything like that. I don't want to speak anything into existence. But you can read between the lines. You can see the forest through the trees about what I'm talking about. When people put their trust in you, their faith in you, you got to honor that. And that's in all things. When somebody puts their trust in you, you need to honor that trust and do the right thing. Might not always be the best business. But it's more important to be a great person, a good person, and to be professional and to do ethical business. Now, was it right or wrong? It doesn't matter. It was, people get traded. But the moral aspect of what we're talking about, I have a little bit of a problem with that. And we have a history of it. It's something that we should probably address. It's something that we should probably look at. It's something that we should probably change. How are we going to get the guy that we draft and is a Clipper lifer? We're winning championships with that person. Why would they want to stay when they've seen what we've done to the likes of Blake Griffin? Anybody that we've ever drafted and wanted to exalt as the future of this team ultimately was dealt away, and they were traded in such a way that leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. I don't want to go out there making enemies of people that were so close to the team. because, that revenge is a dish best served cold. And if you don't think Rocco and Batum got some chill left in them, well, why are you sad that they gone then? Exactly. Because they have something that we will miss. What Rocco and Batum both had in common for this team is that, guys, there was so many things that they could do for this team that just didn't show up in the stat sheet, let alone what was going on in practice and in the huddle. But these guys were difference makers, and they could change tempo of the game, and they had their handprints all over the game without actually being in statistical categories. Do you know how rare that is? To have somebody that's selfless enough to not care about their statistical categories, number one. And then number two, to be able to find big ways to impact the game. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Pass deflections. Those don't really show up, in statistical categories. Yeah, you can log it or whatever, but there's nothing officially logged as far as anything that matters, right? Changing direction, throwing people off balance, the quick twitch stuff, the telegraphing. All of these type of things were things that Rocco and Batum both possessed in abundance. Now, I'm not saying that PJ Tucker is not a fierce defender. I like PJ Tucker's defense, and I like him from the corner three. He can hit them. He's a little streaky, but, if you really think about it, all shooters are streaky. If you're feeling it, you're feeling it. If it's not going in, it's not going in. Doesn't mean you stop shooting. But maybe it's just not your night. And it can't be everybody's night every night. Don't believe me? Ask Michael Jordan. Ask Steph Curry. Ask Ray Allen. You going to tell me they never missed a buzzer beater? Well, we all know that's not the truth. So, guys, I'm hopeful. Well, what else can I be, right? But I am really sad to see Batum and Rocco go, especially. I'm happy for Marcus Morris because the sentiment from most of Clipper Nation has not been great for this guy. Now, granted, it's been a while since Marcus has showed us anything, and I hope he's okay. I hope that he's healthy enough to play and he can get himself back on track. But, availability is the best ability, and we needed him to be there for us. And sometimes we just have to put out a search party for the guy because he's nowhere to be found. And we just can't have that. Championship run can't have extended periods where starters just go missing. That's not going to get it done. I want to applaud Ty Lue for putting his faith in Morris that he could figure it out by keeping him in the starting lineup. And I don't know if that had anything to do with his teammates being comfortable with him in the starting lineup versus somebody else. But it's obviously time to move on. I can't remember. When was the last game that we saw Marcus Morris? I'm going to look that up and I'll have that for you. But like I said, if you're not on the floor, some people are going to be like, Marcus, who? Who is that? Oh, the twin. I remember him. In the bubble, he was magic. He was really doing them. But, he had moments and brilliant moments. Like you've seen the guy put up 30 and just score at will. And that's not even really what he does or what we needed him for. But when our guys went down, he had really stepped up. I don't know if it's a motivation thing or if things have just changed, but he's another guy, a head scratcher as to why all the DMPs. But I wish him well. If he's not working here, I want it to work for you somewhere else, big dog. Happy trails. And then the fourth member of that group is KJ Martin, man. I was really excited for him to get started. He got off to a slow start. And I wonder if he felt like he had some trouble finding his way among all these veterans. Because I believe that they had a sizable role for him, that they wanted him to play. But in the limited time that I've had to see him, it doesn't necessarily look like he is 100% ready to make the type of contributions that they need him to make. To have him on the floor out there with the second unit, minus a Russ. But the combination of like Bones Highland and KJ wasn't working too good. And I don't know if there was anything as far as chemistry or if it was just the fact that Daryl Morey said that he wanted young players. It's not going to be Terrence Mann, I'll tell you that much. You're not getting Terrence Mann. And they didn't. And I have to applaud the front office for that, because that is exactly the frame of mind that we need. We got to keep some of these guys around. I don't want to be like some of these other teams that as soon as a hot commodity becomes available, they just trade off all their assets, all their draft picks, and we can't keep doing that. You can do that maybe once in an era, and we did it when we started the 2-1-3 era. You don't keep doing that because you're never going to get anywhere like that. You have to build from the draft. That's the only way to sustainable success. Yeah, you can sell your soul for a championship, and then you're not going to have any draft picks for the next few years. And that hasn't worked out for a lot of teams in a lot of different sports. You guys know. So I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged to see the front office not mortgaging our future. Especially if we're going to move into the Intuit Dome. Let's keep some of the players around. We hope that Kawhi and PG are going to re-sign and give us some new contracts, a new lease on life, a second chapter to this 2-1-3 era. But we don't know. Maybe they don't even know. There's a lot of time between now and the end of the season. But I do like the win now attitude. I'm telling you guys, my dream for this season is to win it all at crypto and bounce and raise that banner in our building. That's what I want. I want to win it in crypto and leave. That's what I want. Straight up CM Punk style. I'm going to take the championship and I'm out. How about that? That's what I want. That's what I want. Not only do I want the championship, I want to make them feel it. All of Los Angeles. It's like, yeah, no, the parade is going to happen in Inglewood, bro. We're done with this place. We done won it. We're done. We've earned the right to move into our own building, and we're going to christen it with a banner. Who has gotten to do that? I don't think, did Golden State raise a banner their first year in Chase Arena? I'm not sure if they did or not. I'm going to look that up. If you guys know, hit me up. I want to thank everybody. I want to take an opportunity just to thank everybody for listening to the podcast, the LA Drippers podcast. I appreciate y'all being with me in the yacht club here. We're just chilling out. We're having a great day. It's James Harden Day, and I can't wait to see what happens. All that I say, stay optimistic about the whole thing. We don't know, and that's the beauty of sports. It's why we watch the games. It's because it's not predetermined. We're going to find out together. And I'm going to be right there with you guys, cheering every step of the way. It's going to be fun. You're going to tell me having James Harden here is not going to be fun? It's about to be on. Okay, so let's get to the Spurs game. It was a great game. I want to share a personal story with y'all. You know, I've been going to see the Clippers for a long time. And the Spurs game would usually fall on my birthday, especially during the early Blake Griffin years. And so, you know, treat myself to a little something. That game usually would fall on a weekday or like a Sunday or something like that at an odd time. So it was never a problem for me maybe to get a suite room or something like that and just chill out. One particular time, a couple of days before my birthday when the Spurs were playing, I was extremely excited. I was going to get to see Tim Duncan and Ginobili, Tony Parker, and all those guys. Tim Duncan was going to hang it up soon. I don't think he played a lot much longer after I saw him. But I did get to see him for a half. Man, the Spurs whooped us so bad. They were up by more than 30 at the end of the first half. The starters never came back out for the second half. And we lost by 40. Devastated. My birthday. It's crazy. So I'm at Crypto Arena. I'm in the house watching the Spurs get dismantled by the Clippers. Fourth quarter comes. Starters, you're done for the night. It was very cathartic. I just thought I'd share that with you. It was crazy. I was having a moment. I was like, wow, who would have thought as a Clipper fan that this would ever be the scenario, this would ever be the case? As the great Michael Scott once said, as the turntables, and that's what they did. That's exactly what they did. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was a great win. So let's get into it. First of all, Victor Wembanyama, the 7'4" Frenchman. Man, I've heard a lot of comps on this guy. All wrong. The comp is this. He's a definitely a hybrid. He's part giraffe. The rest is gazelle. Okay? You've never seen a guy this tall move so smoothly on a basketball court. It was poetry, I'm telling you. He wasn't stiff and rigid. He was very sure of himself. His ball handling was pretty much there. The only thing that sucks is that when you're 7'4", there's a lot of space between your hip and the ground. So if you've got an overzealous defender, if they put a small guy on you, you probably get your pocket picked quite a bit. One of the things that I loved about the Clippers on this night, on the 29th, they played Wemby aggressively. They didn't back down. They didn't cower. I could see them trying to figure out what to do with him offensively, as far as, you know, their own offense against his defense. But defensively, they crowded him. They frustrated him. They got in his passing lanes. Busy hands, active hands. Taking advantage of the lack of ball security. That would be one thing that definitely Wemby is going to want to work on, is his ball security. Because a lot of space in between you and the ground. And I think defenders will figure that out. Also, he's going to have to put on a little bit of weight, you know, because you don't want to get bullied and stuff like that. I just really appreciated the way that he was played. Plumlee didn't back down from him. Zubac didn't back down from him. It was a great game. It was a great game all around. In fact, Zubac was 16 points, 8 rebounds. Very respectable. And the reason why I feel like that's actually a bigger effort than the stats show is because everybody got involved. Kawhi Leonard led all scorers in 28 minutes with 21 points. A very efficient 21 points. For the minutes, not for the, because he was actually 6 for 13 and from the field and 3 for 7 from three-point land. But I mean the efficiency as in 28 minutes, 21 points. But then you go down the list, Paul George right behind him. 28 minutes, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Westbrook, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Rocco didn't need any points in 26 minutes, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Also had a steal, also had a block. No turnovers, and only 1 personal foul. And this is what I mean by that, folks. He did so much more than that. When he's getting in the passing lanes, when he's deflecting passes, when he's diverting traffic, disallowing his opponent to receive the basketball, making the heady plays, starting the fast breaks, protecting the basketball, no turnovers. Who doesn't need that on their team? But yeah, not all of that shows up in the stat sheet. You look at this, you think, oh, it's very pedestrian. But what he brings to the team, a lot more. And the 76ers are probably going to get back a better player than when he was there the first time. Ivica Zubac, what did he have? In 22 minutes, 16 and 8. Very efficient. 6 for 7 from the field. 4 for 6 from the free throws. He had a block. Only 1 turnover. And guys, we're looking at a positive plus minus for everybody in the starting lineup. Russell Westbrook, once again, 30 on the plus minus, contributing. And then the low guy, Ivica Zubac with 23. Everybody was in the positive. And I don't just mean everybody in the starting lineup. Clipper Nation, I'm talking about everyone on the team that got in. Miller was the only one that didn't play last night, but everybody had a positive plus minus. Even Diabate, he didn't even score. This team is functioning on some cylinders, y'all. And if you're a basketball fan, you need to take note. If you're a ride or die Clipper, if you're Clip Gang or Don't Bang, you need to tell a friend. Because we are out here and things are about to happen. You're not going to want to miss this. I was very, very, very impressed with the performance that the Clippers put out on Sunday. They went out there, very judicious, took care of business from the tip. I really believe that not only has the mindset trickled down from what Coach Lue is looking for, but also Russell Westbrook is there. He's energy from tip to the last whistle. So you're not going to have an energy problem starting the games off anymore. We have a motor now. We've got that motor. And it's a push button motor. You don't have to crank it. You push it, starts right up. You know that green button, start push, boom. That's Westbrook. Watch him go. Just throw the ball up. Start the game. Watch him go. It's going to be energy from whistle to whistle. Because that's how he knows to play. That's the only way he knows how to play. And we're lucky to have him there. The difference is being made, y'all. I'm really proud of the Clips, man. They were able to get most of the guys in there. Miller's the only one who wasn't able to come into the game. And I'm not sure what that might have been about. He may not be 100%. But everybody got in there. Everybody played their butts off. Bones Highland led all reserves with 18 points in 21 minutes. 50% from 3, 4 for 8. But he was shooting late. You know, he was on the floor late, and they were just shooting. I really like what I saw from the team. Guys, when I tell you that they're playing these young teams a lot different, I'm very encouraged by that. We're not letting the young teams get out and run all over us. We're not letting the teams out physical us. We're not letting the teams get their confidence up, which makes them harder to put down. We're the comeback Clips. We will always be the comeback Clips. That's never going to change. It's part of our DNA. We are resilient, okay? We're not worried about that. What we're worried about is having to do it in the first place. If you'd have just done your homework when you got home from school, you wouldn't be staying up till 2 a.m. right now trying to cram because you got a test in the morning. Oh, crap. It's already the morning. You got to be in your seat in less than 6 hours. You still got 2 hours of work to do. You still got to sleep, eat something. You got to shower because you've been up for a couple of days studying. You did it to yourself. Did you pass? Yeah, but you passed with like a C+ when you could have got an A- just by doing the right thing. My teachers like to call that time management, by the way. And it's important. It's very important. Always important to manage your time, no matter what it is that you're doing, you know. Time is the most important commodity that we got. It's more important than money. You know why? Because time, you can't get that back. If I lose money, I go generate that. Where are you going to generate some time from? If somebody wastes your time, you'd be like, yo, man, I've been sitting here listening to you for 5 minutes and I'm not hearing nothing. I want my time back. I don't know how he's supposed to give that to you. That's why we got to make positive and smart choices about the people in our lives and the situations that we find ourselves in. Because once that minute is gone, once that second is gone, once that hour is gone, we cannot recoup that. And we are now older and closer to the end. And so we want to make sure that we spend as much time as possible cherishing and respecting and upholding the time that belongs to us, because it is the most precious thing. Now, let's get to the future. Now, before I was talking about how the Clippers were able to play these young teams so far, not letting them get started, not letting them use their physicality and their speed in order to make us look old or older than we really are. Okay? Running circles around us and embarrassing us. Nah, those days are done. Whatever was happening last year, it's done. We deaded that. It's over and done with. And we can move forward with a more championship-like mentality. These guys are focused and they're not messing around. Trying to get it out early. That's the type of load management that I like. Go in there and get the job done early. And then we can sit the fourth. You only got to play 21 minutes a night and we can still win decisively. I'll sign up for that. Think we're going to have some legs when it comes playoff time if we do that? Oh, yeah. There's not 30-plus contenders in this league. We don't need to let teams play with us. And so we're going to find out tomorrow night, Tuesday, Halloween. Orlando, still in town. Just played the Lakers. Lost by 3. They're on a back-to-back. Let's see how they're feeling because we owe them one. As a matter of fact, we owe them 2. Y'all remember, we let some games get away last year, and they were at a pivotal time that really cost us. And now I think it's payback time. We're going to let this team, this Orlando Magic team, know. You ain't no David Copperfield. You caught us on a bad one, okay? It was not our year. And I didn't like the hype surrounding it. Anytime you start talking about somebody to be the odds-on favorite to win the Larry O.B., you might as well go ahead and put the death nail in that season for that team. It doesn't work that way. I don't want you to exalt me as a champion before I have proven to you that I am one. You see what I'm saying? You can't just give me the flowers first before I've actually shown you anything. That's not how it works. You're trying to crown me as king, but I'm still a baby prince. Okay? You feel where I'm going with that? Got to crawl before we walk. And there's no problem with that. Everything that is earned is something we keep. And I want to keep that championship. I don't want to rent it. I want to be a perennial championship contender. And for the first time in a long time, I feel like we are just that. Except this time around, we don't appear to have the locker room distractions. We don't appear to have the front office and ownership distractions. The media has all but written us off. And we can go back to being in our comfortable zone, which is the underdog. Now, I don't know exactly how a team with James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard goes unheralded. Why they're not on TV more. But something's got to change with that. And we're going to win a championship whether the TV executives like it or not. Just because you guys don't know how to sell the Clippers to the American public doesn't mean that Clipper Nation or the Clippers organization needs to suffer at all for that. Get me in there. I'll show you how to sell it. I will hype all of America about the Clippers and every basketball fan out there. If you build it, they'll show up. You're not building it right. And that's the reason why more people are down on the Clippers than they should be up. If you do it right, you make it simple for people to digest, they can get it. But when you carry on with the narratives that these guys don't want to play, that they're dogging their injuries, well, yeah, of course you're going to have a problem. But yet you have all of these people that want to be here. Batum's taking pay cuts just to spend his last season with us. Lou Will was inconsolable on social media. Pat Beverly, massively upset, wore a Zubac jersey to the game after he was traded. You don't understand, guys. Our chant in the huddle used to be 1, 2, 3, family. Family on 3. I don't know too many teams that do anything like that. Nowadays, I hear them saying together. Because that's how you do it. Together. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, you got to go together. And this is a team sport. We're only as good as we can be collectively. And I think that that's something that is really resonating with this team right now. And if that doesn't get you excited, I really don't know what will. Okay, shipmates, got a new segment. I'm not really quite sure what to call it yet, but I did a little bit of field journalism while I was at the game, having some fun. We're going to make something fun of it. And got to talk to some really cool people. So I'm just going to let it play. And maybe you guys will give me some feedback about what I should call this segment. because I'm thinking about trying to do some interviews while I'm at the game with my people up there in the 300 section to show some love to the people in the back. In fact, maybe that's what I'll call it. The interview with the people in the back or something like that. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, thank you so much for listening to me ramble about my team for a little bit. I really appreciate that. I hope it's something that's got all of you energized, and I hope you're feeling it. We are going to broaden the conversation at a later date, but for right now, it's basketball season. Early in it, James Harden is here. We got to talk basketball. We got to talk Clippers, and that's how it's going down right now on the LA Drippers podcast. Victor Spoils here, coming to you live from the game, Clippers and Spurs. It's the first half. Clippers are handling their business, most definitely. Kawhi and PG, great energy. We've got Norman Powell flying around on both ends of the ball. Everybody is very active on both ends of the ball. Mason Plumlee going for rebounds, diving on the floor. Zubac making his presence known in the middle. And Victor Wembanyama has not been a factor thus far. Greg Popovich playing in limited minutes up until now. We'll see if that changes in the second half. But for right now, the Clippers are up big. I look for more of the same in the second half. Right now, during halftime, we got the Pee Wee game going on, white versus black. I'm not sure exactly what academy or what basketball school this is from. I think these are the young Clippers, the youth Clippers. Anyway, we're having a good time at the game, drinking a beer. It's wonderful, hanging out with some people. There's a lot of very quiet Spurs fans in front of me. And that's how we like it up here in the 300 section. That's why I sit up here, just to watch all these guys go home sad. You can come root for your team, but you're going home sad. That's all I know. Clippers holding their own against Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. Yeah, man, so we're sitting here at halftime. I'm with a longtime Clipper fan. His name is? Matthew. What do you think of the game so far, man? Wemby, a lot of billing about him. How do you think the Clippers have been handling him so far?
I like the physicality. I like how they're not letting him get to his neutral locations. No good, easy spot open, spot up jump shots, making it very tough for him off the catch. I love the physicality. I love the double teams, the traps, the little help side, weak side, strong side. This is overall been a good game. The numbers are what I feel like they should be. I feel like, as a Clippers fan, we need more free throws made. Other than that, it's a great game so far.
Great game so far. And you got your family with you, I see.
Yes.
All right. You guys want to say hi on the podcast?
Hi.
What's your name, buddy? Elijah. And what's your name? Grace. Who's your favorite player?
I don't know the names yet.
No, not yet? But you love the Clippers?
Yes.
All right. Well, that's enough. Can I get a go Clippers?
Go Clippers!
All right. Thank you, guys. All right. And that's live from halftime. All right. Thank you so much. You guys have a great one. I'll see you on the next one. We're doing it for the people, y'all. We're doing it for the people. I'm going to go back to my seat because we're ready to go. Brody already doing the and one, doing his thing. Let's go. Be sure to click the like buttons and leave your comments. You can catch me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at LA Drippers Pod. I'm also on Instagram at LA Drippers. Listen to me on Spotify as well as iHeartMedia.